Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Harry Potter?
Dreams are soaked with glue.
Does look like a house out of Harry Potter, mind. Alright, before we question him, let's loot.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
There's a fireplace upstairs.
It's locked.
If I buy food, I do normally like get the chicken from Aldi's because it's like ridiculous. It was like, I think it's like 5 chicken breasts for a $5, something like that.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Or maybe even it may have been like 6. It's crazy.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Yo, can you tell me who's his father? I'm confused. Oh right, yeah, that's his father, right? The bully. So your father did his best. I thought the way he was saying that was as if he's dead now.
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reid. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Wait. Oh, okay. Oh.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So the safe is unlocked, but the chest upstairs isn't, the trunk upstairs isn't. Weird,
Even
right?
my dreams are soaked with gloom.
God, so depressing. We spoke to him, didn't we? Oh wait. Fatigue. He's fatigued, so can we give him that potion?
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure,
The fatigue medicine?
sure.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So, may I ask you...
I'm not bothered.
I can't give it to him?
Goodbye, young man.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Oh god.
We even used to be neighbours for Christ's sake. I prefer not to give you another feeding parrot.
See if we can break this up.
You again?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Yeah. I mean, I watch like TV series, but that's only like...
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always
What is it?
been
Safe?
wretched. Don't let your guard down, sir.
Bates Motel. To be honest, if I ever watch anything, it's actually other people's streams. That's the only time I ever watch like live, like live
But this district
anything.
has always been wretched. Don't let your guard down, sir.
All be judged for your sins. Even
Excuse
now
me,
you
sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I mean, is it World War One or is it World War Two? I'm thinking it's World War One because she said she started working at that hospital in 1911. Although she could have been there for 35 years. 35 years? 38 years. That's a long time though, but she is older. I don't know. I don't know. What I'm thinking is that if people knew about the disease, then maybe they would look after themselves. Right? So like, if they know that there's a disease out there, then they're gonna like, you know, be more careful. Wash hands, etc. Keep your distance.
If no one stops it, this epidemic could turn into a scourge. It may kill more people than the war itself.
Yes, this is another kind of war, but just as deadly. History will judge us all for what we did and what we did not.
Didn't figure it was kid friendly either. Yeah. Do you think people would maybe not? Yeah. Yeah, because like, I mean, no, obviously they like, yeah. They're aware there's a flu going on, but they don't know how deadly it is. Like, they should know, really. But it is quite dark and depressing. I can see why they don't tell the people. Pretty sure it's the same in 2018 as well. You've never watched Game of Thrones? Don't leave, but just watch Game of Thrones.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
It's part of being a journalist, I guess, isn't it?
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Jimbo's never seen it? That really surprises me. I think it means it's... Oh, yeah, I was going to say it is, yeah. I was going to say, yeah, there's dragons and everything in it. He'd love it. Jimbo would love it. Like, if he sat down and watched a couple of episodes, you wouldn't see him for a few days, I'm sure.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
Yeah, but the first season is like very crucial because it's the reason why everything kicks off, basically. So it's the reasoning behind everything. But then from then on, yeah, it's incredible. I liked the first season. I don't know why people didn't like it. Okay, it may have been a little bit slow in parts, but I enjoyed it.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid.
it might be on Hulu.
They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
It's probably on Hulu. Yeah. I think I've still got a subscription with them, actually. Because I wanted to watch... Oh, no. I might have, because I wanted to watch an anime.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Ah, no.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
I seen the other day though that Netflix has. It was on the radio on the news that Netflix now has more people watching than live television. Apparently.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Or is it more than Sky? Something like that. I mean, there's more and more like exclusives coming out just for Netflix, isn't there? So, kind of makes sense, really. That's actually really good, that is, host, to be fair.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Oh god, here we go. That didn't mean to be a pun. A happy accident.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
Wait, can we go down a different...
Quite a...
But you...
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you...
How it ends, I've been told to watch that as well. Apparently it's really, really good.
That this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical?
Great.
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. but not with scalpels and microscopes. No,
What is left then?
cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
Burn the
God
city.
will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
'20th century.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
He's gonna start burning people.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
You know all those people that use. You know the people who use other people's Netflix accounts for like the multi-screens and things like that. Like they use their Netflix accounts. Yeah, I'm that person. Like I have 4 screens now, and I don't watch Netflix. But my brother, my sister, and my nan watch them. I wish you could buy 3. Oh, and my mate Brad as well. It's a nightmare, host. Like, I actually wanted to watch something the other day for once, right? Once. I turned it on, and it said all screens are unavailable. Or you needed... all your screens were unavailable. I was just like, are you for real? So what I done was I logged out of every single device, and I went back on there. I had 2 screens, yeah? So 2 added. So I logged everybody out, and then everybody the next day must have logged back in, and my nan upgraded my Netflix account. But she did it without doing any card details or anything.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Have you any friends?
Wait, hang on.
But I have a disciple I see as my son.
Sent him to preach. Right, where did you send him?
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the stone...
Right, okay.
Do you know Nurse...
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
What about you like, does she?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
This guy's nuts.
I've had enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Can you believe that, Jordan? Nearly 100 quid for just the internet. Comcast. Jeez. No, that's ridiculous. I paid 45, which is quite high. But I don't really have much choice. But yeah, that is ridiculous. I couldn't imagine paying that. And you pay for like healthcare and stuff, which I think is nuts as well. I don't understand it.
The walls of your home will not protect you.
Can I not give him?
Imprisoned by your daily routine. Unable to see the true horror around you.
They're nuts. Another one.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may.
No.
I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Whoa, no, Jonathan. Come on. Let's not be too hasty, yeah?
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Yeah, that's nuts, that is.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
I don't like that she's like on a step looking down at me. Like as if the game knows I'm short.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Do it, Stars. You can come live in our workplace. We got a lovely post room. You get free Wi-Fi.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Many people must deal with poverty, but not all choose to sell their bodies. That was your decision.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what or when you were going to eat?
Jose had that problem earlier.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
What and when you're gonna eat? When she said that. When was the last time you had to think about what and when you was going to eat?
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
What was the point in coming up here?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night.
Hang on, it's like 27k is the average. That can't be right, Hose. That can't be right. I don't know anyone who's on that amount of money. Apart from, like, you know. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's my age, I don't know.
It reeks of the penny dreadfuls.
Right,
I
okay.
mean you no harm, truly.
I was gonna say, because, like, to me, that's like a managerial role. And obviously there's a lot more people under a managerial role than there is. Right, okay.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary.
Oh, wow.
A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Good.
Average in Wales is 19, okay. Average is 51. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, but then you've got, like, New York and LA and stuff. I can imagine why that's so high. Like, we've only got London, so...
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Find Richard Nethercott. Okay. Do I have to go that way? No, I don't. Alright, we ain't gonna go through there. That's gonna be dangerous. Right, okay. Yeah, but to be fair, all he does is play Football Manager, so... I'm joking. Please don't sack me. Yeah. Sean the other day was like, because I've had like a couple of times like last week where I had to go and I had to leave work for whatever reason. It was only like it was like, I don't know, it was probably like 3 hours I missed altogether. He was like, "You're gonna make time back?" I was like, "I'm streaming," and he did ask you about it, and you was pretty cool about it, so I can't complain. This guy's facing me. I'm gonna have to fight him. Oh crap! No. Ooh, I like that. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Come on, I was miles away. That's fine, leave him be. That's cool. My company is terrible about time off and having to leave. I did let tell anyone I talk to on Twitch, but my dad, oh bless. I left work early Friday. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Good, I'm glad he's well. I'm glad he's doing better. Find Richard in the area.
Morbidity can breathe.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Oh,
Please
God.
be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Okay.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Huh.
My mother loved poetry. Perhaps your words would have touched her sensitive nature. I only see a dreadful disease.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
That's a weirdo.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a small company. I'd say it's pretty big for our area, but I think at the moment everybody knows everybody, which is kind of cool. Well, I feel like I know everybody now since they moved. Well, on our side of the building, anyway.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reid.
Have you been there that long, Hose? I didn't know that.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
Look, mystery that exhales kindness and sweetness. Hang on, I'm gonna message Mela that now. I just sent it to her. Without killing anyone, yeah. I might make a day.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
No, only English here, mate. I like your name, though. Very exotic.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, game's going good. I'm enjoying it. It's like a lot of dialogue at the moment, because it's like early on, so you're just trying to understand who the characters are. But I think once all this dialogue is done,
I'll leave you alone, sir.
I can like proper get into
Darius
it.
is a bit less of a
good.
mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
She'll probably think he's done something wrong.
Oh, come
Like Bloodborne? I've never played Bloodborne. But Bloodborne's another decent game that I wouldn't mind getting into.
flesh, I tell you.
I can see what they mean though, just by watching the trailers and stuff. The gameplay is very much like that. It reminds me a lot like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Just for the way that like he phases in and out, and like the flashbacks and stuff. Kind of reminds me of that. I think I may have played the start of Bloodborne. But I think I don't know, something else must have come up.
I'm cheap and I'm clean. I promise.
I like the combat in Bloodborne though. It kind of reminds me a lot like Assassin's Creed.
You paid one way or another. Please,
Like the way the combat is, the way you sort of target different enemies and pulls a pistol out.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Of a man-to-man dog.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed was good. I mean, there's a new one coming out as well, isn't it? Yeah. I can't remember. Did they announce it at E3? I know Origins hasn't long come out, but I think they were on about talking about another one.
It's locked.
Of course it is. Hang on a second, mate. I'll be with you now. I'm just gonna loot your house. See what your wares are. Is this it? Okay. We can talk.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
I wasn't actually. I won't get paid until tomorrow. I was just checking. I'll have a look though. I wouldn't have been paid though, because you're on the older one, aren't you?
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reid. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
I used to hate getting paid monthly, but it's not so bad anymore because I'm a bit more grown up and mature with my money. So it's not so bad anymore, but I used to hate being paid monthly.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reid.
Yeah, it was hard work. Like, now I'm living back home, it's fine, but when I was living on my own and I had to pay like bills and stuff, it was a nightmare because I was still quite young as well. So, but better for it.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
I went the wrong way, haven't I? Find Dorothy Crane. Game reminds me a bit like The Witcher as well. A little bit. It's quite dark in The Witcher.
Can you hear my voice?
Doesn't sound very good up there.
I need help!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. Yes. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
I'm gonna end up eating him. I don't even know what I'm picking.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I thought he was gonna eat him. Like, that's why I thought he was asking her to
I
leave.
doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. To what do I owe this courtesy? This is an unfitting place for the illustrious Dr. Reid. You shouldn't be here.
Oh no.
Razvan was getting better with the treatment.
I think he will, yeah.
I don't understand.
He does take the blood samples and he like analyzes them.
So,
It's locked, all right.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us.
But he might taste it as he's doing it.
So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reid?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
What a womanizer. What? Hey, this guy? Need her.
Oh, this one stinks already.
Let's go.
Snuff it, leech! He's dead!
Snuff it, leech. I can hear the rats, but I can't see them.
Stupid beast!
Oh no.
Fight for this!
Oh god. Mela, did you see what I... Bills are paid? Oh yeah, you did, okay. All the overtime I can get. It's literally all gone. Oh god. Oh guys, look what Mela said. This part came up, Mela, where this poet said something. And Stars was like, oh, one day some guy will say that to me. And I was like, right, I'm sending it to Mela. Don't worry, Mela, I did mean it as well, don't worry.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you the...
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
By doing that... Mela makes me do strange things. Like wear a dino onesie.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately. I have this thirst for blood.
Oh, there's a fight going on. Oh. So close. I mean, I don't really know what these. What's the Snapchat names? It's not actually. It's not. Mela, if Mela can whisper. I actually had Snapchat. Snapchat like sort of made my own username using my email, which was kind of annoying. All the platforms from Twitch. Oi, oi. You would add me as well? Yeah, I'll add you, hoes. I'm only wearing it for you, Mela. Jose, you've actually got to purchase it. You got to purchase it on the stream store. I think it's 1,000 pieces. Yeah, I just added you, mate. Take it as a compliment, Stars. Yeah, I did notice, Hose. If you look in the bio, you can see the leader in pieces, and you're like right at the top. You can just hear him hugging it out down there. I don't know what I'm buying. Or crafting even. I'm buying.
This is despicable.
Eat the rats. That's a big crap. Holy crap.
Burn it, boys!
Okay, these guys are big.
Fire does it! Die,
Bloody hell. I'm gonna struggle here.
Come on.
Need to take him out.
He's down! Finish it!
Oh, come on.
That's what you do!
Come on. Right, let's concentrate.
Crush to the knees, boys! Die, Bernie!
Ah. Come on.
Filthy fucking beast! Bloody crime! Burn it, boys!
Where are they coming from? Ah. Ah. Oh man. I'm dead, yeah. No, no, no. My days, that was hard. I get any sort of reward for that? Drunk shopper. I've been in here before. What was the blood for? I got nothing from that. Oh, okay. I hope nobody else attacks me now. I don't think I can handle another attack. There we go. Oh.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Why have you done this?
So lucky to have Dr. Reid, you know. I met him in New York once.
Holy crap. Am I interrupting?
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reid. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
Mel, are you streaming tonight?
No need to apologize, my lady. I know exactly what you endure.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state.
What time, Mella? How
Under
long?
normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Looks older than 27 though, right?
Very well, but I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire is a Scar?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
So, I bit my sister. Well, Jonathan bit his sister. Does that mean she's gonna be a Scowl? Surely that'd be the question he asks, right? Because he is a doctor after all.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years.
Hey, Shay.
This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
It's vampire, Shay.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that.
As soon as Mela goes live, I'll be jumping
Things
off.
I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows.
You're partnering
Something
for your
far
minions.
worse than the Spanish flu is here.
It doesn't even
in the
sub to
city.
me.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form.
Mothman.
But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
It is my duty to piss people off.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember,
I didn't expect it to jump on my finger.
before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
Hang on, I got a little bit confused there. All I read was double-fisted Mela, one in each hand. Oh, wine or water? Oh, okay.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Are you my maker?
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Yeah, how you been, Shay? You okay?
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What
you can hear that, yeah?
Are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
An Ekon?
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
No worries.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
Restart my stream? No. I'm just gonna be hosting Mela.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I bid you farewell.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.